no, it's Tom Moss. What's he up to? Oh, he's got a helper. Oh look, a chocolate syrup truck. What's Diesel 10 doing with it? He's waiting for someone. Oh no, Percy! Watch out! Oh no, it's too late. Oh dear, he's covered in chocolate. Poor Percy. Tom has another idea. Uh-oh, watch out, Thomas. And your chickens. Uh-oh. Oh, Thomas. Diesel 10 has an idea now. Watch out, minions!
Uh-oh. Hey! Hey! Hey!
Tom has another idea, but it doesn't look like Diesel 10 likes this idea. He's doing it anyway. Fuel? Ooh, this looks dangerous. Fire? Oh no, he's going to set these trucks on fire. Oh, he caught fire himself. Oh no. Ah, help! Luckily, Thomas and Percy were nearby to get help. Water cannons, said Flim. It's not working. We need something bigger.
It's time to stop, chop, and rescue. Activating water cannon.
The fire was out. Well done, said Belle.
Mission completed. Great work, rescue team.
Thank you, Heatwave, said Flynn. Yeah, thank you, said Diesel 10. And I'm sorry, Thomas and Percy. It's okay, they replied. Tom Moss made me do it, said Diesel 10. Tom Moss? So Thomas chased him. But Tom reversed into his tunnel. So when Thomas arrived, he was gone. Maybe I'll get him next time, said Thomas. Gordon was happily pulling his express. He stopped at a station. Percy approached him. "Hey Gordon," he said, "are you pulling the haunted coach?" "Haunted coach?" replied Gordon. "Yes, don't you know it?" asked Percy. "No. Why is it haunted?" Gordon asked. "Well, apparently spooky things happen if you pull it. Points and signals change randomly, and even ghosts appear," warned Percy. "What does it look like?" asked Gordon. "Well, it looks exactly like your coach's, but red." And with that, he left. No, there's no such thing as ghosts, thought Gordon. So Topham Hatt arrived. "Gordon, I need you to pull an important coach," he said. "Yes, sir," replied Gordon. How many coaches?" "Oh, just the one," answered Sir Topham Hatt. "One? And, what colour is it?" Gordon asked. That's a strange question. It's red." "Red? Don't be late," and off he went. It can't be the haunted coach, surely, he thought. But when he got there, oh no! It was exactly as he imagined it. He coupled up to it. And strange things happened instantly. What? He wanted this journey to be over as quickly as possible. But things just got stranger. He soon had to stop. There was a truck on the track. What's that doing there, he wondered. Suddenly, fireworks went off and chocolate went everywhere. That must have been a ghost, cried Gordon, so he hurried off. The signals acted strangely too. "I can't take much more of this ghost business," cried Gordon, so he rushed off. "Oh no," muttered Gordon, as in front of him was a real ghost. He was petrified. He just wanted to get rid of this coach. He eventually got to the final station. "Finally," sighed Gordon. The ghost reappeared. "Oh no, it's not over," cried Gordon. "Gordon, it's only me, Percy." "Percy?" muttered Gordon. "It was you all along?" "Yes, it was a pretty good prank, wasn't it?" he said. "But the coach, the points in the signal." "Oh, that's just a regular coach. And those points have been faulty for a while. And the signals, well, the wind changed those. They're quite loose, you know," explained Percy. "Oh, well, what about the chocolate truck?" asked Gordon. "Chocolate truck? Well, I didn't put that there." "Oh well, I see you're covered in a lot of chocolate. Come on, let's get cleaned up," said Percy. So they did. "That's better. So there's no such thing as ghosts?" asked Gordon. Of course not, replied Percy. But he was very wrong. But that's a story for another day. Thomas was pulling along his, Henry's, James and Hero's numbers. They were very heavy, so Thomas was tired and needed a drink. There's a water tower over there, he thought. I'll leave these numbers for a moment while I get a drink. So he did. Unfortunately, while he was gone, Diesel 10 arrived. Oh, what do we have here? Numbers? Oh, I could do with more numbers, he said, so he took them. So when Thomas came back, "Oh no, they're gone," he cried. He saw Diesel 10 in the corner of his eye. I'd better warn the others, he thought. So he teamed up with Hero first. Thomas altered the signal, so it always showed red. So when Diesel arrived, he had to stop. "Oh, come on, come on." While he was still, Hero quietly took his logo back. "Well done," said Thomas. "Let's see what's inside." It was Luigi. "3 numbers left," said Hero. "I'll work with James to get the next one," Thomas replied. So they came up with a plan. Back at the signal, Diesel 10 was getting impatient, so he decided to ignore the signal and get moving. But... Huh? Oh, why are my trucks lighter? Oh, I'm missing a number. So he decided to push the trucks from then on so that he could keep a close eye on the rest of the numbers. He was heading towards a crossing, where James was waiting. James derailed Diesel. Oh! And Thomas took the numbers away, so James could open his. Inside was a pirate minion. I don't think he's very happy about being kept in that Play-Doh, warned James.
Hoy there! Take the numbers! Yes, sir! Aye, aye, Captain!
Oh no, we've only just got them back, said James. Don't worry, reassured Thomas.
Huh? Phew! Huh?
Thomas dropped off a truck full of bananas.
Huh? Bananas? Bananas! Bananas! Yay! Woohoo! Yay! Woohoo! Yum 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 yum. Yum 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 yum.
While they were distracted, Henry took back his number. He opened it with Thomas. A troll from Frozen was inside. It's just your number left now, said Henry. I have an idea, said Thomas.
Yum yum. Huh? Ooh, more bananas.
But it wasn't. It was Thomas. And Batman.
Batman! Ah! Ah! Run! Run! Ah!
Hehehe, silly minions, it's just a cardboard cutout, laughed Thomas. But at least he had his number back, so he opened it. Hulk was inside. So the engines thanked Thomas for helping them get their numbers back.
Thomas was enjoying his afternoon when he went around a sharp corner and he ran right into a very large pumpkin that was on the line. Thomas couldn't see anything. "Don't worry," said his driver, "I can see to drive you," and they moved forward, but Thomas did look very silly. Percy was also enjoying his day. Then the same thing happened to him. "Who turned the lights out?" said a shocked Percy. "Don't worry," said his driver, "I can see." And Percy moved forwards. They both now looked very silly indeed. Percy then stopped at the crossing. "Who's there?" said Thomas. "I don't know," said Percy. "I can't see." "Oh, it's you, Percy." I've had a bit of an accident," said Thomas. "Me too," said Percy. "Come on, let's get back to clean up." And they left. In the bushes lurked Diesel 10. "Ha, ha, ha. Silly steamers." Now the tip of the sheds were being repainted, so the engines were using a set of tunnels as shelter. "How's your headache, Percy?" said James, trying not to laugh. "You look a little under the weather, Thomas," said Gordon, also trying not to laugh. Thomas and Percy said nothing. The engine wash was broken and they felt very embarrassed with their pumpkin heads on. The next day the pumpkins had been removed, but Thomas and Percy were still feeling embarrassed. "Of course," said Gordon, "it's Halloween, a time for pumpkins, ghosts, bats and spiders." "Did you say ghosts and bats?" said James. "And we're in these old tunnels?" "Yes," said Gordon. "They don't scare a big engine like me though." Thomas and Percy couldn't wait to get away from James and Gordon. While they were out, they got the feeling that they were being followed. "There," said Thomas. "A ghost." I'm scared," said Percy. "I know someone who can help us," said Thomas. "Ha, ha, ha. Silly steamers." Thomas then met a real ghost train, a very friendly ghost train called Ghosty. "Don't worry, Thomas, there are no other real ghosts around here, and I'll find out who is responsible for this." That pleased Thomas. Ghosty then scared away all the fake ghosts. He then met Diesel 10, who was blocking the crossing. "I might have known it was you," said Ghosty. "You're not a real ghost. You don't scare me, and you can't get past me," said Diesel 10. Ghosty then moved forward right through Diesel 10. Okay, now I'm scared," said Diesel 10. And off he went. Ghosty chased him. "It was me! Now, leave me alone! Leave me alone!" said Diesel 10. Thomas and Percy were pleased it was all over, although they were still embarrassed about the pumpkin heads.
Uh-oh. It's Tom Moss. And he's looking to have some fun. Look what he's found. A fireworks truck. This could be trouble. He pushed it around and dropped a couple of fireworks, so that the hard-working trains like Thomas and Percy would run over them. What's that sound? Wondered Thomas. The truck was on the firework. Suddenly, his truck exploded. Oh, it was Tom Moss. Ugh, there's jam everywhere, he sulked. But it wasn't just his truck that had exploded. Oh no! My cheese! Cried Percy. Tom! Thomas arrived. Look what Tom did to my truck, complained Thomas. He did that to my truck too, cried Percy. We need to prank him back, said Thomas. Percy agreed, so they came up with a plan. So later that day, Tom was wandering around looking for trains to prank, when a ghost appeared. Tom doesn't like ghosts. It was a ghost Percy. Tom expected some ghostly things to happen, but nothing did. Tom then realised that it was no ghost, it was just Percy. So he left. He didn't fall for it. The plan's working, thought Percy. Tom then ran into another ghost. Ghost Gordon. Again, nothing spooky happened, making Tom realise that Gordon wasn't actually a ghost. So he left. Hehe, wait till he sees the next ghost, said Gordon. He then ran into Ghosty, whom Tom had never met before. Tom had to think. Percy wasn't a ghost, Gordon wasn't a ghost, so this just must be Thomas in disguise. He wasn't going to be fooled for a third time, so he charged towards the ghost, but went straight through him. This really scared Tom. Ghosty then made some strange things happen. The water tower turned on. Points started changing. And what spooked Tom the most was that the fireworks truck he'd used earlier was moving completely by itself. Tom ran away, but the fireworks truck was still chasing him. he ran back to his tunnel. Everyone gathered round Ghosty. "Thanks, Ghosty," said Thomas. "No problem," he replied. "It's good to finally prank Tom back," said Percy. So everyone was happy as their prank had worked. Thomas and Percy wanted to pull a prank on someone. "Who should we get?" asked Thomas. "Well, here comes Mater," said Percy. "Quick, get into position." So they sprung into action. "Hey, Mater!" cried Percy. "Hello, Percy," said Mater. "What can I do for you?" "Thomas has a present for you. He's been looking all over for you," lied Percy. "A present? Oh wow, what is it?" Mater asked. "Oh, I can't tell you that. It would ruin the surprise," said Percy. "I'll see if I can find Thomas. Now don't go anywhere." And off he went. Thomas soon came round the corner with Frank. "Whoa!" cried Mater. "Look, Mater, I've caught Frank," lied Thomas. Frank then leapt off the truck. Uh-oh. Mater ran away, with Frank close behind. Ah! Ah! "Ah, poor Mater," said Thomas. "But that was funny though," said Percy. Mater soon lost Frank though. Phew! Oh, I should have known they didn't really have a present for me, sulked Mater. He then started coming up with a plan of his own. Later that day, Thomas was having a drink when James arrived. "Hey Thomas, have you heard the news?" he asked. "No, what?" asked Thomas. "You've been chosen by Sir Topham Hatt to pull the very important express coach today," lied James. "All you have to do is approach Maythwaite from the west." "Really?" cried Thomas. "That's really made my day." And off he went. Mater then arrived. "Did he believe you?" he asked. "Yes, he did," cried James. "I'll go and tell Percy the exact same thing now." "Thanks for helping, James," said Mater. "Well, I'd never miss a chance to prank Thomas and Percy," said James. So he went over to Percy. "Well done, Percy. You've been chosen by Sir Topham Hatt to pull the very special coach today. All you have to do is approach Maythwaite from the east side." "Really? Oh boy!" cried Percy, and he rushed off. But what Mater had done was alter the coach, so that it had two hooks. So when Thomas and Percy reversed into it from different sides, they had no idea that the other one was there. So when they both tried to move, neither could. "This is a really heavy coach," thought Thomas. Mater then arrived. "Sorry, Mater, no time to talk. I've got this coach to pull," said Thomas. "Oh, well, it looks heavy. Maybe a bit too heavy for an engine like you," said Mater. This annoyed Thomas and gave him the strength to get going, confusing Percy. "Hehehe," laughed Mater. "Why am I going backwards?" wondered Percy. "What's going on?" cried Percy. Thomas stopped. "Percy, where are you?" he asked. "I'm behind you. We're both attached to this coach, I think," he said. "Oh no, it's about to get worse," cried Thomas, as James and Frank were rushing towards them. So Thomas reversed and Percy sped forwards, with James and Frank just behind. They soon got back to Mater. "Haha, got you!" cried Mater. "Very good," said Percy. "Nice one, Mater," said Thomas. "Sorry about our prank earlier. Your one was much cleverer though." "Thanks guys," said Mater. Shall we call for a truce?" And they all agreed.
Ah! Oh. "A good dream, Thomas," said Gordon. "No," said Thomas, "it wasn't." "Ah, Thomas," said Sir Topham Hatt, "today I'd like you to move all the cargo." "But sir, that means using those troublesome trucks," said Thomas. "Well, yes, of course it does. How else are you going to do it? Now off you go." "Good luck, Thomas," shouted Percy. "Don't let them boss you around," said James. Thomas left in a bad mood and immediately started bumping the trucks. He actually started to enjoy it and bumped them harder and harder. The trucks were not happy and had a meeting. They came up with a plan to get back at Thomas. Thomas then steamed around the corner and up the slope and right into a truck. He was now completely stuck. His wheels were going round, but he was going nowhere. The trucks lowered the track and then started bumping the truck that Thomas was in. The truck didn't mind, but Thomas found it very uncomfortable. Then one big bump and Thomas and his truck toppled over. The trucks all laughed. Digging Rig's Chomper was called to sort out the mess. He quickly got to work. Eventually, Thomas was back on the track with some trucks behind him. "Thanks, Chomper," he said, and carried on. Later on, back at Tidmer's sheds, the other engines found it all quite funny. Sir Topham Hatt wasn't happy though, and told Thomas that tomorrow he would have to finish moving the cargo and that he would have to be good to the trucks. "If you treat them well, they will work hard for you," he said. Thomas didn't want to close his eyes that night, just in case he saw...
Uh-oh. Only one train has that laugh. It's Tom Moss the prank engine. He's going to be a nuisance. He stopped at every weapon and tampered with each of them. The animal soon noticed him. "Hey look, it's Thomas," said Beshti. "No, that's not Thomas," said Punga. "It's Tom Moss," said Kion. "Thomas warned us about him." So the animals sprung into action to get rid of him. "Firing the coconut blaster," said Punga, but it exploded mid-air and sent confetti everywhere. "That wasn't a coconut," said Bunga. "He's tampered with my coconut blaster." "Don't worry," said Ono, "I'll trap him in my net." And he fired it. But when it reached Tom, it was just in pieces. Tom had cut the net up earlier. "He broke my net," cried Ono. "I'll get him with my catapult," said Beshti. But Tom had replaced the boulder with a large bouncy ball. "We need help," said Kion. Tom Moss was causing all kinds of problems. Meanwhile, not so far away, Peppa Pig and Rebecca Rabbit were about to go on a trip. "Are you ready for a fun couple of days?" asked Rebecca. "Yeah," replied Peppa, and they put their luggage in the back of the plane and boarded. "Wow, we're really high up," said Peppa. They were soon over the savannah. "Hey look, there's Thomas," said Mr. Rabbit. "That's not Thomas," said Peppa. "That's Tom Moss, and it looks like he's being a bit naughty again." So they decided to turn the plane around and get some help. And soon enough, Thomas chased Tom around. "Get him, Thomas!" cried Kion. Tom went back through the tunnel. So Thomas followed him. But when they emerged, Tom was nowhere to be seen. "Oh, we lost him!" cried Thomas. Kion then came through the tunnel. "Thanks for sorting him out," he said. "We almost got him," said Peppa. "Maybe next time," said Kion.
Thomas was really in a mess. How did he get up a tree? And how was he going to get down? Well, it happened one very windy day. "Thomas," said Sir Topham Hatt, "I'd like you to go to Misty Island and fetch some more wood to help build the new track." "Thank you, sir," said Thomas, and off he went. It was indeed a very windy day. The track to Misty Island was long and very windy. One section of the track went through some dense woods, with trees very close to the track. Thomas stopped. "I don't like this wind," he said. "This could be dangerous, but I must get to Misty Island," and off he went. Although he was watching the trees, he sensed that something was wrong. He stopped. Someone had put a log under the track, and he was just about to derail. He then caught a glimpse of Tom Moss the prank engine through the trees. "It was you," said Thomas, who was pleased that he had seen the trap in time. But then there was trouble. There was a big gust of wind and one of the large trees started falling. Before Thomas could move away, the tree landed on the track. The weight of the tree catapulted Thomas on the other end of the track high into the air, and he landed on top of some trees. Tom Moss, who thought his prank had gone wrong, started laughing. Thomas wasn't happy at all though. Then there was another big gust of wind, which blew Thomas out of the tree. He landed the wrong way up. Tom Moss left before he was found. Later on, Victor brought Rocky the crane. He backed up to Thomas and started work. With Thomas on the track, Victor left with Rocky. The track was going to be repaired later, so Thomas couldn't get to Misty Island. He returned back to Tibner Sheds. "I hear you tried flying today, Thomas," said Gordon. "The Flying Scotsman train doesn't actually fly, you know." "You were supposed to fetch some wood, Thomas, not chop it down," said James. "Well, I think Thomas was clever to spot Tom Moss's prank before he fell in it," said Percy. Everyone agreed that it was really just a very unfortunate accident, which really pleased Thomas. "Good morning, Tom Moss the prank engine. I see you've been helping out at the zoo. It doesn't sound like you, but well done if you have." He left. Shortly afterwards, Thomas arrived with Annie and Clarabelle. It was a lovely day, and Thomas had brought a lot of visitors to the zoo in his carriages. Then there was trouble. A tiger appeared by Thomas. "Quick, everyone get in Annie and Clarabelle," he shouted, and they did. Thomas looked at the tiger enclosure. There was a fence missing, and the tigers were walking out. Thomas went to warn the zookeepers, but some tigers got in his way. The tiger looked at Thomas, and Thomas looked at the tiger. Eventually, the tiger moved, and Thomas continued. Then there was even more trouble. Two of the polar bears had found the seals and the penguins. A a lion and a leopard were in with the zebras. An alligator had found the polar bear's enclosure. Someone had been removing the fences. There was a snake in a bird tree. There was a gorilla on one of the stations. There was a snake on top of a building. And a chimpanzee had found a new home on top of a very high rock. Thomas left Annie and Clarabelle for a moment and helped get some spare fences for the zookeepers. After a short while, all the enclosures had been fixed and the animals were back in them. All except the chimpanzee. The zookeepers couldn't get it down from the rock. Thomas had an idea. No, absolutely no, said Gordon. Thomas arrived back at the zoo with Gordon on some trucks and brought Gordon around to the chimpanzee. And clever Thomas had brought the indignity Gordon, who had bananas all over him. Clever Thomas. The chimpanzee saw the bananas and came down. First I get covered in rubbish, then they use me as a monkey trap. Oh, the indignity, said Gordon. The chimpanzee realised that there were actually no bananas to eat and that he could get more food in his enclosure. The plan had worked. Thomas took Gordon away and returned for Annie and Clarabelle. They collected all the visitors who had hidden themselves in the buildings. Everything was now back to normal and no one was hurt, luckily. Looks like you got away with it, Tom Moss. Although those fences by your tunnel are a bit of a giveaway. Thanks for watching our story. Don't forget to like and subscribe and then watch one of these other stories by clicking the picture. See you soon.